Hello and welcome to Dwarven Forge Live. This is On the Anvil episode 13. Just I knew it. No.
Great job.
I was saying yesterday with Selena, it's like a running gag that I just started the show and I have no idea what I'm announcing. Like I'm like, where are we? Where's the thing? But,
If you can't keep track of time as it is, who expects you to keep track of other like mundane things like that? But 13.
So episode 13. I am. What are we doing? We're 2 hours. We're gonna hang out, show you behind the scenes here at Dwarven Forge. Take your questions, give away a starter dungeon, show off any of the latest, and feature a special guest. So I am Nate, my co-host here.
I'm Mace Griffin.
And we have a special guest with us today. We'll see if I can pull off this. All right. Whoa. Oh, look at that. Timed out. We got Tobi, our technomancer, is digitally in the house. And by house, I mean my basement. So Tobi's going to be here. We're going to be talking about his life at the Forge, his life pre-Forge, his life, I guess, no post-Forge yet, thankfully.
I know that, but I can't share that with you guys. So.
Is he a robot from the future? And we're gonna see some of his technomancy close up and in person. It's like when those magicians come up to your table at like the restaurant and they do.
What restaurant is this, and how do I get there during lockdown?
Okay. So there's a restaurant. I don't know if it still exists. I don't know. This was 15 years ago, 12 years ago. Ninja New York is a.
Ninja's still there. I went like.
What?
Is this
or something like that? I went with my friend had a birthday party there.
It's like a subterranean ninja lair.
Yeah,
so
you
like,
pop out of the wall and stuff like that when you're going in, and then like there's some dishes that have like special effects, and they just like they appear in a puff of smoke and stuff like that.
well, you get in an elevator, and then you go down, and the lights dim, and it opens, and you're a subterranean ninja village. And there's like a you can take the long secret path, and someone like dropped out of the ceiling, and they like bring the menus out, and they're like, "What's God ninja scroll?" And they like pop out a ninja scroll, and there's flash paper and some of the things, and like it's dry ice, sushi like floating on dry ice. So it's awesome.
What?
Yeah. And there's ninja wizards that come to your table and do magic. I went in like the first month it opened, so they were in full ninja onslaught. And then I went again like 2 years later, and the ninjas said they'd lost a little of their zeal. They'd taken some casualties, and
I'm surprised it lasted 15 years.
yeah.
A few too many throwing stars.
The coasters were little throwing stars.
That's
They
awesome.
had
I have to go there.
They can sometimes like pop out of the wall behind your like table.
Right, they had all these
Where is
shoji
it?
screens that would slide. It's in Tribeca,
Yeah.
Okay, great.
in a hidden subterranean location.
I'm taking mental note.
Yeah, place is awesome. Anyway, so we're here. Sorry, I clapped again. I'm gonna be doing that all night, but
We're gonna put gloves
we're here
on.
with Tobi. Ooh, kid gloves. Look at all these titles. I'm gonna clear all these things off. We got a lot of titles there. And we're gonna look at some. So okay. So first off, before we do anything, so one of Tobi's specialties besides ninja magic is, you don't actually know any ninja magic, do you? Oh yes, you do. So you see, you can't tell. So one of the many things Tobi's good at is building, but not just building, speed building. So we're ready for. Did we figure out a name for the audience yet?
Ooh, no.
We need
calling them,
suggestions.
like the Bean Team or something like that for a bit, but it definitely did not stick.
Yeah, it doesn't sound cool. We need a cool name.
No, it's not cool.
So you guys, the viewer, you guys need to decide a name for yourselves too. But we want you to give Tobi a build challenge. So what are the parameters of your build challenge, Tobi?
So basically, I wanted it's like a small build. So on a train trade, so 12 by 12, and it's try to stick to a theme, but I'll try to do like not that complex, but I'll try to do something
Interesting, right? Something interesting on a 12 by 12.
Yeah, that's my main restriction here, so I can bring it in here.
Can you bump the volume, Nate?
Am I loaded?
People are saying they can't hear Toby.
Hold on, please stand by.
Oh, really?
Project.
How's that? These are
Testing. Testo.
still a little low. What are you supposed to do? Let's go. Mommy made me.
Now?
Try it again.
Can't see, but
I step back a little bit so the lighting is better, but
just yell so loud that Nate can hear it from his house.
Wait.
I mean, like without the computer and stuff like that.
Yeah, without the computer.
For sure.
So you can do the mommy made me mash my M&Ms vocal exercise that gets you like. All right, so
Oh, it sounds good now.
nailed it.
Great, good job.
Do that mumble again. That was.
Okay, so speed build.
Speed build, something that'll fit on here and is something that's kind of fun and interesting, not like wildly complex, and something that he can transport, right? Not something that's like a tower to the ceiling or whatever. So throw any ideas. So throw some ideas at Toby. We're gonna throw this speed build at him, and then we're gonna go into the news and whatnots while he works his ninja magic. And I like that you've become a ninja even on the for 5 minutes now. You're already a ninja wizard. Yeah. So do we have any cool ideas?
What? Let's see. I am none yet in the chat, but Ancient Ruins says smooth criminal.
Ooh, ancient ruins, but they need a thing. We need a shtick. Like, what's the ancient ruins that are?
Rabbit Burner says a Burroughs maze number.
Ooh, what about burrows and ruins? Is that crazy?
That's interesting.
Yeah, because it works together.
Does that make your brain hurt?
Trying to like solidify the idea in my head.
Cannot process.
Just want to make it cooler.
He's
Night of Phoenix says a sewer that opens to a dungeon, then to a cavern.
All on 12 by 12.
A bit ambitious, but I applaud the night. Capel74 says dungeon escape into burrows.
Dungeon
Nerdbotchery says sewer hideout. Anna next says dwarven brothel. Orion Nora says beard in bed.
Beard in bed.
Yeah.
So do I just take the bed piece and put my beard on it?
Yeah. Why not?
All right, so take your pick from among those and
I'll mix and match a little bit.
Cyborg ninja wizardry and see what happens. All right. And so while Toby is doing dark arts over there, let's look at. Hey, speaking of news, we need a graphic. So hit Gabe right now so we don't forget, or put on a thing like right. We need a news. And it comes in, it's like a big, molten lava and like a thing, and a hammer comes down and like, the news.
Okay, I will let Gabe know right now we need a news graphic.
Right now,
I need you to remind me what zeal you want added.
And it needs to be like heavy, right? It needs to be like, it's a big deal. It's like the news.
Right.
Yeah.
It's got to be a metal news segment.
Right? Let's make it metalist news of all. Yeah, like it could go right on the headbanger's ball. Like,
are we gonna make the build now?
Yeah. You already lost a minute. That could have been. We're stalling for you. We're gonna be riffing and raffing.
Now while he's gone, we can either trash talk Toby or we could go into the real news.
I have no trash. News. I have no trash about Toby.
Yeah, I don't either. He's a pretty nice guy, but I'd never say it to his face.
Oh no, because he'll kill you with his cyborg ninja magic. You can't.
Also, we lose the whole nice rapport we have where we just kind of are mean to each other, and I appreciate that a lot in a friend. So
yeah. So
so we do have the heavy hammer lava spilling everywhere news. The first thing I have down is the Deck of Many Kickstarter is still going. They are at 14 days. Is this their second or third Deck of Many?
Second.
The second one, and it's a lenticular kind of cards. Very cool. They have awesome spell effects where when you move it, it like does this awesome animation type thing. It's like insane. I don't know if you have them there, but I know you do have a set, and like it
I
really is mind blowing.
I've got the full set in the office. Actually,
Okay,
remind me that if I have to, I think I have to go to the office on Friday to the pick up prototypes, castings. Um, so I'll try and remind me to pick them up then when I'm there. Here, look at
okay.
news. So we
Um,
can show them off. But they're doing so in this one they have besides they're doing spells 5 through 9, I believe. They were at 600k or something when I looked yesterday. And they have a tarot deck, which is really cool, like a traditional
insane.
tarot deck that's all animated.
Tarot's a hot topic now. A lot of people are
Is
doing
it
some tarot stuff, so
making a
very
comeback?
cool.
Yeah. So and they're just cool folks, and they're making neat stuff. And yeah, I feel like I hyped it for like 5 minutes yesterday, so I'm gonna not hype it. You
I'll
can
go
go.
ahead and I'll post the link in the chat. They
Yeah.
are at 615,000 now, but
They have
they
a
can
at.
definitely. I mean, they if you need good cards, they got good
Oh, they're
cards.
awesome. They're completely unnecessary and completely awesome. They're
Yeah,
at 700k. I think they unlock a really a nice case for the tarot thing, and I don't know. They're great. Get
sweet.
help them out. What other news? What news from the north, my lady?
The other news from the north is there are new pre-orders in the works. We had a really positive review from a lot of you guys, and then other people that had reached out, and we're really excited about the pre-order. We had released only a few, and we're working on getting more out there. I don't think we have the official ones nailed down yet, but we have like a vague sense of it, if I'm not mistaken, based on yesterday's on the or not build of the month.
Dread Hollow Forest, Aranthor Mountains, Forest Transition Banks, Hamlet set, and maybe something else. Saltars, maybe, I don't know, but definitely Aranthor, Dread Hollow, and the Transition Banks and the Hamlet. So we'll see. We'll keep
Awesome.
you up to date as that goes. And was there some other pre-order thing we're working? I don't know. It's starting to brew a whole bunch of other things. So we'll get there. Yeah.
Cool. And then another thing that happened yesterday was actually during, I think, midstream, Wormwood had released the $25 gift cards that were sent out for every one of the backers that had bought a physical set and then also completed their order. If you did not get one and you did order things, I would check to make sure your order is completed
Yeah. This
and
is
follow
Hellscape.
up.
Hellscape backers. You got a $25 gift card from Wormwood, which we blasted out yesterday. I didn't get mine, so
So you
maybe
probably didn't complete your order.
distinct possibility.
I
Uh,
I got mine,
you know,
so I
fun
can vouch that they do exist.
fun fact. Do you know who was one of the last people to complete their Caverns Deep order like 2 months ago?
I'm assuming it was you.
No, I was like the first one. I had to test the system.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's a fun fact. Oh, it's Stefan.
No, he didn't even bother to place an order. He just like, but good guess. No,
Ooh,
Stefano was just sort of like when it was shipping, he was like, I need some stuff. I should have. Yeah, I'll give you a clue. He's a ninja cyborg wizard.
it was Toby.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so Hellscape, you should have your certificate. If you don't, email Chuck. I guess. Yeah,
Yeah, email
customer.
customer service. It might not be specifically Chuck, but I will
Fine.
go ahead and I think there's a command for it. But if not,
Yeah.
I'll post the email so that everybody can get that sorted out.
Yeah.
And then after that, we just sent out the Hellscape update last week. That's why we sent out $25
Woo!
gift cards. But we have the Plaguestone update in the works, and that should be coming out soon.
Yeah, there's not much new news on that other than it's on the tail end of it's sitting on the heels of Hellscape, which is moving along. I'm surprised that boat isn't on the water yet, but or maybe it is. I just didn't hear about it. But yeah, that stuff's. I guess it goes out next week, or they're packing it right now, and the boat leaves next week. I don't know, but it's moving. We
Ooh,
got there's movement. There's lots of Hellscape movement. The lava is flowing.
bon
Yeah.
voyage.
Oh, I can't wait when
And
people
then the final
wait.
piece of
Oh,
news.
the fan builds when we get like the week that Hellscape starts arriving. It's gonna be.
Yeah,
We have
yeah,
to.
it's gonna be insane.
You know what we should do? We should
What?
do like instead of like the fan photo of the week, we should do like 6 of them or 10 of them or something. Just show off like our
Yeah.
favorite, a whole bunch of the cool new Hellscape builds that people are doing. It's gonna be so awesome.
Yeah. So if everybody in the chat, if anybody backed Hellscape and gets theirs, I pull all those from the official fan group on Facebook. So feel free to upload them there. We also have other, like, we do Discord, we have Twitter, you could just do regular Facebook page. The forums. Just, I don't know, send your fan builds and let us see what you do.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that I have as far as news goes is a little teaser.
Oh, wait. Before that, we need Denth and Denth and Odin Forged. What do you want I'm gonna sign your DVD or Blu-ray. What do we know? Odin Forge wants the Blu-ray, right?
Yes.
Just what do you want it made out to, and if you want a Blu-ray or a DVD. Let us know so we'll get these out in the mail to you.
Get some Siggies on it.
Yeah. And I have extras here, so we give out whatever they don't have. We'll give one out tonight.
Not the worst idea.
With the starter done.
Do a few different giveaways. It's fun.
First time I've ever done that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know if this goes on.
Not graying rapidly or anything. No.
I am graying rapidly. It's
I said my hair.
If
I can beat you, I bet.
We could have a gray off. That's a whole episode.
I'll grace your face with my grays.
If I stay down here long enough, eventually I'm just gonna start giving away everything in my basement. Yeah.
Wait, have you been keeping up with the Mohawk maintenance?
What's Mohawk maintenance?
Well, like, I know you keep your sides trimmed and everything, but like, how long have you had your Mohawk grow before it's like?
Oh, until it just really starts falling over. It's basically when Talia gets a window to just cut it. So one weekend where she has some free time, it's like every couple of months or whatever, she trims it up off the top. Basically, just so it's I'm on my goal is that it should take 3 seconds to get it ready in the morning. I want to put a little Jonathan Dirt in and go.
That's all you do is go like
and
that.
Done, and then that's my day. That's my threshold. If I have to take more than like 5 seconds, that means it's too long. You gotta.
Yeah, that's Mohawk than you need.
I mean, my whole routine is I want to I have the same clothes, so I don't have to pick out anything different. It's like just black, same thing, boom, hair. I just like the minimum. I want to spend the minimum amount of time on all that stuff, so I can spend the maximum amount of time in here. Like it's all the.
You're a cartoon character.
I am. All right, I have the same food for lunch. I wear the same clothes. I wear the same. I have the same routines, just rituals, so I don't have to think. I have no brain power. I can just boom, autopilot through that to get to the important stuff. Save all the brains for this.
Do you ever feel like you're in like Groundhog's Day or something like that?
The pandemic a little bit, right? There's I don't know what the date is today. Well, actually, I can look at a calendar.
It's the 27th.
7th. Yeah, I thought it was the 29th because but I don't know. It's a little weird. But no, I there's always a different challenge sitting here on the bench, so there's that. But it's other than that. Yeah.
Odin says you can make it out to just Odin Forge if you like.
Whatever you want, man. It's for you. So it's done. Odin Forge, one word. Odin Forge.
He's put a space in between it.
Draw.
So Odin Forged.
You know what? His face. So I for my only understanding of his face is, and maybe I don't know. There's some picture on social media. Maybe it's his thing on Twitter. It's like him. I feel like he's got huge mutton chops and a big smile and a baseball cap and armor and is drinking like a stein of beer. That's
nice.
that's my picture. Every time I hear Odin Forge DM, that's what I picture.
You think sideburns?
Sideburns, like leather pauldrons over like a Metallica t-shirt or something, a baseball cap, and a stein of beer and a big grin.
Oh man. Okay, so before we get to the teaser video, Capel wants to know if your weakness is peanut M&Ms. He's asking.
How does everybody know this? Yeah, I love peanut M&Ms. I mean, honestly, I like all candy. Black licorice, also really amazing. But peanut, they're bite-sized. I don't know. They're just like, they're more exciting than the plain old M&Ms. I love peanut M&Ms.
You're the first person I've met that likes black licorice.
Oh, it's the best. I could just eat like a gallon of black licorice.
Really?
Yeah. So
how
if anyone
do you fit black licorice into a gallon? Like, that's a weird measurement of it. Do you do like liquid black licorice?
I would. if that was a
You
thing.
would. All right.
Yeah, I'm in.
You should try Jaeger.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right. So, was there any other news besides my love of peanut
No,
M&Ms? All right,
just the DVDs we got going out.
all right. So we're gonna play you. So this is hot off the Video Wizards desk of wizardry,
Like her
and
apothecary station.
yeah, well, really, which is also slash her bedroom, slash her living room, slash her kitchen, slash
She has three
her
separate
apartment.
rooms.
Does she really? All right.
Yeah.
All right, so it's her in her from the office, the home office, the home Anvil. So we're our ad guy said we have to start our Wildlands ad campaign now to start generating email addresses or whatever. I don't know. We have to start our ad campaign. So this is we're starting to run this. When is this starting to run? Tomorrow? Today?
I think Friday.
Friday. So this is so you guys get a sneak peek at our. We had to try and make an ad with nothing. So we don't have. We haven't shot anything yet other than our still from the thing. So this is video wizardry at its best. Immerse your players in an epic gaming experience like no other. Prepare for Wildlands, our savage new wilderness terrain coming this summer. It's so short. I love it.
That's nice.
I'm back. All right, well that was I don't know. I just got excited for snarling bits. So that's some video wizardry. But we're gonna, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna shoot something next week. No, wait, what week? Where are we? Time.
Who?
Oh yeah, next week. Jeez, that's coming soon. How am I gonna do this? We're playing D&D on Monday, Build of the Month on Tuesday, on the Anvil on Wednesday. I have to shoot somewhere in there too. We have to shoot some materials. Start advertising. But you know what this means? You know what this means, Mace?
What?
That was a good guess. It means it means we're impending. Wildlands is launching soon.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because we said summer 2020. So when does summer end?
September 21st.
All right, so it's sometime between now and September 21st. The Kickstarter is going to launch.
To be very fair, summer starts June 21st. So.
Oh, nice. So we're ahead of ourselves. Yeah. Well, we're not launching then.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway. So
summer.
Sometime between June 21st and September 21st.
Can you do a movie theater guy voice, like the horror guy, like in a world kind of thing?
In a world ruled by modular terrain, one team of dwarves must put it all on the line. A grizzled cop on the edge of retirement, an outpost on the edge of space. You know, a band of visionaries and dreamers on a quest. One dog has to.
Quiet.
So, we don't have any other news, right? We don't have any other thing.
No other news. Just waiting on Toby to do his the technomancing.
Technomancy.
His buildology.
And we're giving away thing later. Yeah, okay. We'll go. Toby!
Oh, he's coming. He's running.
Okay. Woo!
Hi.
That's
So,
it.
I'm almost done. Sorry about that. I was looking for the burrows. It took for a while, but
Oh,
I think it's going to be cool.
You know the problem with most of the burrows is they're in a box labeled Tyler because I use them for the live build, the game.
I saw them on your in your
Okay.
room. I just thought I was looking around the racks and didn't see any of them.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to get it done in a few more minutes.
Woo! Should we stall for a few more minutes?
But you were saying something about the giveaway.
No, we were just seeing if you were ready. You can go. Why don't you go power through? We
Okay.
can. We'll juggle. We'll riff and raff.
All right.
Did we get any feedback on the live game deconstruction? Speaking of burrows, is there any other ideas on what we can do for the next live game deconstruction to make it even more lively? Did anybody ever give us any thoughts?
I haven't
Really love
heard
it.
any feedback yet. There might be some on, the actual stuff that I got was from last week's stream. There might be some on the Discord or something, but I haven't had any sent to me. And I think Chris is good at picking those out. So
It's his job.
I don't know if you have more stuff that you'd like to make those deconstructive game things lively. let
Yeah.
us know.
I don't know. Is there stuff that would be useful that you could glean from it for your home games? Um, yeah, we're here for you. There was something else I wanted. There's something at the back of my head that I'm like, I gotta remember to do this something. I can't remember
There's
what
always
it was.
something.
The,
I
I'm surrounded by something.
I know that next week, because I was watching the stream yesterday, and next week we're gonna talk about reconstruction of something. Restructure. Hold on, let me look at
Oh
my
yeah,
notes.
I had an
Oh,
idea.
offer structure.
Oh yeah,
Is that
yeah,
what you're talking about?
yeah. Is that a thing people would be excited about? Talk about the well, we're gonna do it anyway. So, well, I don't know if everybody's like, no, that's the worst idea ever. No, I wanted to talk about um break down our kind of plan for the Wildlands offer and what see if it makes sense. It's a little tricky to talk about in the abstract. No, I guess I'll be. I don't know. We'll see. And maybe I can use some swamp stuff as sample. And yeah, the good news is we're more stuff is we're finally stuff is showing up and getting painted, and we have things. There was a period there where it just sort of like a bunch of boxes in limbo, where it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's 5 boxes of castings that are somewhere.
Yeah.
Not.
Didn't we like just get them too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, petering
Yeah.
in. So yeah, it's exciting. It's always the best, right? You work on this stuff forever, and then you finally like box of all like cast out. Somehow it feels more real, which is stupid because it's real when it's clay, but it's more real when it's a thing you can like break.
When it's like being massively produced, kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah. When
Like
there's like
it's not just concept; it's now actual form.
yeah, and then it gets painted, and then this thing you're building. It's like it's just the best. Um,
And Finley Shard says, "Just assume we went to see it and talk about all the things."
this is
Subtalent says, "I would definitely like to hear it."
okay. Well, it's coming at you next week. Wow, I'm glad we already figured out next week's topic. And on
Yeah.
that note, if you've got, if there's other topics, and I think someone suggested it maybe during the stream yesterday. I don't know. We'd keep the suggestions and ideas coming, right? We love you guys are our sharp lot, whatever your name may be, the
The sharp
viewership.
lot.
Yeah, sharp lot. I gotta find my dagger. Speaking of sharp, you guys are a sharp lot, and you have a lot of good thoughts and ideas. So we love to, keep it coming. Uh, it's fuel for the brainstorm machine. That was Bill of the month was really fun yesterday.
Yeah,
Because
it sounded a lot of fun. I had fun
it
watching
is wacky. We got. I don't exactly know how I'm going to turn it all into a thing, but that's a problem for Tuesday. So I don't know.
Chris says there was a request to go through the keywords that were used for each
Oh,
set
yeah.
and show how they were used. Well, how quiet.
I even have them here. What do I have secret? Tuesday, Friday, 12 to 3.
Oh.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know if I can.
Oh, you don't know what that's about?
No, I know what they are. It's a guiding
No,
principles.
the Tuesday, Friday, 12.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, that's from when we had certain meeting parameters.
Oh yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah, no.
You know what? Really, well, it's pandemic. Yeah, now homeschool. Ugh.
Homework.
Hmm.
Subtalent says, if we get to hear about encounters, bundles, essentials,
save this for
etc.,
next
that
week.
would be great to understand.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to talk about next week, and maybe I'll talk about the guiding principles then too, make it a whole the fundamentals, taming the wildlands we can call it. Although the wildlands can't be tamed, but yeah, it's already written itself. Now we have to start figuring out the week after. What do you guys want to see on the week of? What do you want to see June 10th? Figure that
Keep
one out
telling
next.
us, do some schedule building for us, guys.
Seriously. Yeah.
So Into the Wild next week, and then the following week. Well, people are giving us notes on this In a World movie that you have now voice over the commercial for.
Right.
So I guess we have to shoot that.
I would love to shoot some stop motion again. Other than having to do it, I would love to.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I wish I could. Yeah.
Dab1800 says,
Hey,
Nate,
Dab.
Wildlands, we know that there are swamp and forest. Can you speak of any of the other themed settings?
You'll have to wait
Ooh.
half a fortnight to find the answer. Yeah,
All right.
that's the spake the Sphinx. That's the tour. All right, let's. I guess we can't do
Tobi!
Toby without Toby. Let's get Tobying. Let's get Toby-tastic. All right, Toby. So, let's go into single remote color view. You ready? Wait. Oh no. Please. Well, the best laid plans. Oh, the remote cam just died.
Ugh.
It's okay. Just
Toby
make
and I
some,
can
make
riff
something
raff.
up.
So,
Yeah.
Toby, I was told before this stream that even though your computer is plugged in, you are not plugged in.
Yes, I am 5 left.
I would like to know what it's like
Now
to be a
4.
robot on low battery. Oh no, there he goes. We lost him. Well, first the camera, next the robot, everything's just falling apart.
Part of my plan.
Yay, we got
Yeah.
Toby.
Yay.
Alright, here we are.
I gotta get the other. I just gotta jump start the other ones.
Cool.
And then
Alright, I'm gonna mute just because there's a lot of birds, so.
You and your birds. You guys are. You could be a movie.
Punch them.
I have an aviary over here.
Alright. Man. You know, I love OBS and also mostly I hate OBS. No. Like I said, okay, boom. There's one of there are many reasons why I'm not a hacker, and mostly it's because I don't know how to use OBS. All right, Toby. So, what do you what crazy technomancy do you have lined up for our studio audience here? The sharps. What do we call them? The sharp eye brains. Sharp. The sharp. I don't know.
Sharks?
The sharks. The Shark Tank. What do you have prepared to ward off a Shark Tank?
Okay, today, well, I guess several things. I'm going to be doing. I'll do a cast, and I'll show you the process a little bit, and also we'll be doing blocking.
Woo!
Showing off like the progress of that waterfall piece.
Do you want to do that first?
Sure. I'll just do that now while you guys talk.
Yay!
Yeah, he asked me. I'll answer stuff.
Ooh, it's like a polygraph.
What?
It's like a polygraph. With
What?
a polygraph. It's a lie detector test. We're gonna ask you questions and you have to give us answers. Do you like peanut M&Ms?
That's the base answer.
All right. So what is a block, Toby? Isn't that a thing that kids play with?
Yeah. I'll start. Yeah. So block is any sculpt needs something to start like being sculpted on. So like after Nate makes like the prototypes that owns after he goes through many iterations of figuring out the geometries of them, I or someone else would make. So we want to make that geometry in the clay so we can start sculpting on it.
Do you have the mock for that piece so they can see the?
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a.
Woo!
So I'll be doing this one over here, shallow waterfall. And to do that, we start with it needs a base for the wood and then like an armature of wood inside so the clay can stick onto something, and so the clay doesn't either fall off or like bend and stuff like that.
And essentially, the armature wants to kind of take as much space as it can, right? Like
it wants to take as much like space and as little as possible. Like one of the worst things to like run into while sculpting is hitting the armature.
Right. If the clay is too shallow, you can't dig in. Yeah.
Can
Haven't
you press the boost the volume on Toby, Nate?
you guys are both on the same volume, so you have to be a little more. I'll turn him up, but you have to.
I'll be
You
quiet.
gotta pipe down a little, lady.
Okay. I'll whisper.
Carry a big stick. Uh, so and haven't you? I feel like you or Nina. I feel like I've seen somebody drill into the wood while there's clay on the thing, right? Like there wasn't enough room, and I take like evasive maneuvers and like
Oh,
drill in. Oof.
that happens sometimes here. Like, yeah, it's hard to like fully tell. Like, yeah, we know the geometry, like the concept of the geometry of the piece, but like when sculptor like or Eli or working on it, like might think of something cool to do and might change around the shape a little bit. Like we're still confined to the basic shape of it, but like in putting in details and stuff like that.
Well, and that's the crucial.
Something like that, and then sometimes hits the armature when it's too close.
Well, that's the crucial part too, right? Like the mocks are very fundamental geometry, right? They're not art. They're just like the basic like, hey, these lines have to hit, like this needs to line up here, this diagonal needs to line up here, but like beyond the things that have to hit, the mandatories, there's an enormous amount of freedom. Like it has to be turned into art, right? So it has to deviate a bunch.
Sorry.
Yeah. So like that's the thing, is unexpected, right? You're not exactly sure where it's gonna go, and sometimes it deviates a little deeper than the or a lot deeper than the mock or whatever.
Yeah. At the same time, like it's true that it's like just a suggestion, but the fitting of the piece and like how it fits with other pieces, like the mock is like the a good guideline for that, and there's some aspects or properties of each piece that can't be changed.
Yeah, there's a bunch of geometry that's like it's just fixed, right? Like you have to, like it's not an option to change. For sure.
Yeah, like for example, like over here, this part over here.
Hold it up higher.
Yeah, sorry. This part over here, like it's a very thin part, and but it's also like tall, and like the clay could bend, so it does need an armature, but you don't want it to be too like wide or thick, or
right?
You don't want it to be too weak as well,
because you don't know where that's gonna go.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you're literally just crazy gluing or super gluing, gorilla gluing wood to wood. Like this is as analog as it gets.
And that's for the. And this one's a very special case because it has a cutout on the bottom, so I can't really sculpt on that. I mean, I can't really put clay on that. So what I'm going to do is a piece of wood that's removable. So clay around it, so then you remove it, then like for molding and stuff like that.
Would this ever be something that you would use the 3D printer for?
Yeah, like I've been like modeling out and printing some of the newer pieces that has a little bit more complex geometries that like you can't really get with wood. Like I've done things in the past, which it's always fun to figure out like what's the armature like it's for a more complex shape. Like one of my favorite things was in the burrows, the winding ring. What it basically did was right, you're getting it? Yeah.
Let me hold it up.
Toby, would you rather have Skittles or M&Ms?
M&Ms.
And why did you mix a bowl of both of them and give them to me?
Because you deserved it.
I did not actually.
All right, so the armature for this, what did you?
Basically, since it's elevated off the ground, and we also had to be able to remove it, what I had to do was like something along the lines of like 2 wires on each side, like going up like a train track and putting in like the planks between. to
Wow.
the train track going up, and then like towards the end where like the heel of the thing is, which is like a dowel there, and then like down to the
Right.
feet because it needed to be like removed so we could sculpt on the bottom.
Well, and the other challenge with these is if you don't get all the clay perfectly packed in, if there's air pockets in there, the pieces
Yeah.
explode in the vacuum chamber. So if there's a bubble of clay, if there's a bubble of air inside the clay, it gets yanked out like a shotgun blast and rips a hole in the clay, which is no bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno. That's industry speak. Um, how do you determine when you want to do an armature in 3D versus I mean in 3D print in armature versus do it in wood? Just the
Well, for example,
complexity.
like if the thing is if the piece is like thin or like has like precise angles or like precise geometries that like it can really like it's just easier to do it like in a model. That's what I do because
Is there a reason why you're taking apart the?
I made these are too wide.
Okay.
Yeah, I put this actually, and these have to be inside, and they were sticking out. So, yeah, you guys saw me mess up.
Well, right, that's it's a slow analog process,
Yeah,
right?
it's a back and forth of trying to figure out the right solution. Like,
It's true.
yeah, sometimes you don't measure right. Sometimes it's just like what you thought would work doesn't work.
Right. And like you guys said, it's like you have to be so precise too before it can become like the sculpt and the creative part of it, just so it is as modular as possible.
Well, that geometry has to be, like there's very specific. Like if it's not 50 millimeters, we're in trouble. Or
Right.
if it's not a right angle, we're in trouble. And you know what? We get in trouble a lot, like because it's analog.
Yeah,
And,
and during the blocking is when all the measurements like need to be precise because, like when someone starts sculpting on it and you figure out that the measurement was too short, too long, it's like hours wasted.
days even, yeah,
Sometimes, yeah.
it's bad. So Toby,
Yeah.
how did you get to the forge? How do you while we're here in the present?
Interesting. I mean, like, it was kind of for a little bit of a connection, but it was because, yeah, my mom was friends with Stefan's ex-wife.
Yeah, the classic connection. Yeah.
Yeah, like back then in the time we were just like there's a lot of freelancers and just so yeah that flight a little bit more, but
And why did everybody think you were Ken Watanabe's son?
right
When
because
you
there was some talk that Stefan knew Ken Watanabe's son or Harry knew Ken Watanabe's son or something like that, and then they were talking about him coming over, and since he's also Japanese, I I don't know if he's full Japanese or like, I assume he's full, but through a lot of miscommunication.
you showed up at the same day that
I don't think he ever showed up. I don't think that ever happened, and yeah, which doesn't help. And Stefan probably didn't say anything about me
No.
coming. So I just remember hearing like 3 or 4 weeks after, like, Nina or Aaron asked me, "So wait, are you actually Ken Watanabe's?" Like, I was like, I was very confused.
Well, it sounds like the plot for like a rom com or something, right?
Yeah.
The mistaken identity. Yeah.
Finley Shards would like to know if the armatures need to take into account special LED wiring, or is that a later stage?
I do that all during after it's cast, but although when we're doing the like armatures or the sculpting more specifically, or like it's a mix between the sculpting armatures and the mock phase that we need to figure out where it is and like have like appropriately like flat or appropriate spaces for to be able to house those.
It's a good question.
Yeah,
Generally, we figure out at the mock stage, we figure out roughly like, hey, what's the smallest space we could fit X, Y, and Z in, and then give it a little bit of padding and whatever, and then or I'll say, hey, Tobi, I hold up a little thing like, do you think you can stick a battery and a switch and whatever? And you go, yeah, I think so. Then we kind of eyeball
but the
it.
big difference is I might be able to do it, but
The
see,
factory.
yeah, the factory, yeah,
Yeah.
factory is not happy with.
Yeah. So, but we have some base measurements for like to get
Yeah,
a CR2032 and a switch, it sort of requires this much
yeah,
space, and to get a JST connector, it kind of requires this much space. We have some baseline measurements that we kind of make sure we bake in, and then mostly you just sculpt away, and then
yeah,
it becomes a problem. It becomes your problem after there's a sculpt,
yeah.
and then
So just to let people know what I'm doing now, I'm just marking out on the base the out the footprint of the piece. So when I put the clay on and stuff like that, when I cut it down, I know exactly where I'm like where it should be hidden.
and it's also when you guys are sculpting, if the clay drifts outside the line, you're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
I see you have a really nice lightweight tool you're using for this too.
This or this.
That.
I love this thing. It's like we got this recently, but it's a perfect 1x2x3 block, and just like you can use it for like it's like heavy as hell. But
Is it like tungsten? What is it? It's like,
I assume so.
I mean, it's just like a giant lead weight.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's awesome.
It's precise measurement. It has like perfectly right angles and stuff like that, so you can like figure out if everything is like coming out flush.
We need to call that. That's just a dwarven ruler. Like,
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah. So you weren't Ken Watanabe's son, but you did. Your mom knew Stefan's ex-wife. But
Yeah,
what?
right at the time, I was like right about to graduate college, so I was looking for something like new, and honestly, yeah. So I went to architecture, but just
Had you
I had fun there. But it was like I wanted to do something more art related. So
had you graduated?
yeah.
Yeah. So,
I graduated like right before KISS. No, right in the middle of the Kickstarter for
wow.
KISS, I think. I was doing part time at the beginning.
Yeah, you were popping in and around.
Yeah.
Well, let's. You know what? I have those pictures up. Hold on. Let me pull these up, and you can tell us about these.
Yeah, my architecture days.
Yeah. College wear. Oh, this
Well,
one.
also, though you're not Ken Watanabe's son, isn't your great grandfather like Ouija took a photo of him or
Oh
something?
yeah, he was a gangster, and then like there's a famous photo of like from the crime photographer Ouija of my grandfather dead on the sidewalk. It's like
Wow.
if there's an exhibit or a book of him, like he's usually on the cover.
That's insane.
Wow.
I love Ouija's photography, so that was
Yeah.
still pretty cool.
Is-
You're not the son of anybody, but you're the grandson of somebody.
So is that where you got your ninja training?
I would think that would be from the Japanese side, but
So, so I brought this. I put up this photo. This is like your futuristic, post-apocalyptic house.
which one is that? Is that I can't see.
It's on a cardboard,
yeah.
a barren landscape of cardboard with a single dead tree, and it looks like it could be a spaceship.
It was like you're trying to do a landscape-based housing, and like I think the location for that one was supposed to be in either the Bronx or the upper, like the very tip of Manhattan or something. There was some park there, but either way, the concept of the thing was like taking the lifestyle, like everyday life, and like shortcuts or stuff like that. And I was looking like for that one, I was looking like at Mario games, shortcuts on there, and like And making that model was always fun. There was a lot of it's all like from laser cutting.
Wow. So all
So
the
like I modeled out the house in here and then like laser cutting and stuff
Where
like
this is the Mario game stuff?
what?
Like where Mario games? I'm trying to.
No,
It's
I was looking at like the progression of Mario games for that one. Like for example, like you could go straight. You could like so like the building is laid out in a U shape where like for example like the morning stuff is in one end and then like as you go in the day it will go over. But like the web in the middle is kind of like those shortcuts you can take in Mario games, like the warp
oh
zone,
cool.
so you can like skip over.
love it. And
Yeah,
what's is it all cardboard? Is the white stuff cardboard or is the
yeah, that's a museum board, which is
cool?
like the
Yep.
like really thick. Yeah,
Overpriced cardboard.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everything. Well, it's art school.
Yep.
Everything's overpriced.
Well said. So then, and then here's another one. This is your cube world.
Yeah, that one was supposed to be location in Chinatown, and the inspiration. It's supposed to be a library,
Oh cool.
but the inspiration was like that one was also happened to be another video game.
Go
Like,
figure.
I don't think I did that many video game ones, but like those were the most memorable ones. And like there was a game where like I forgot the game's name, but it was looking at the uh, screen, but the screen was like shattered and mixed around.
Cool.
So viewports were all over. It's like you took a monitor setup and just like scrambled the monitors all over the place, so you can walk around over like here and then you peer over here, and like the level just continues like that. So I just wanted like.
So you worked with miniatures before Dwarven Forge, even for like these models and stuff.
Yeah, so it was kind of with castles. It was kind of architecture-y there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's not as modern, obviously, but I mean, it's roots for sure.
Well, you built what was the level you built?
Donkey Kong.
Isn't it Donkey Kong? I did a level from Smash Bros.
Smash Brothers. That's what it was. It was a fighting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember that. I came in one day and there was like this crazy vertical horizontal, like crazy build horizontal, or a vertical build with horizontal things. I was like, what is it?
Yeah, it was Hyrule Castle.
Yeah.
From Smash 64.
That's awesome.
It's fun to try to like.
So, did you have any? How do I gotta find you. Hold on, there you are. So did you have any including like when you were studying architecture? What were you planning on being an architect? Were you planning on making miniature castles? What was like? Was there a plan?
Yeah, I was definitely trying to like do something that's like more art related, as I said earlier. It's like something that's like it wasn't like the intenseness of architecture, just like or just like it was like intense, but also like business like.
So instead, you went for the most intense art possibly, like a Kickstarter-based company of. Yeah,
I just wanted something more like. Because I was doing a lot of like drawing stuff and T-shirt design and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you have your Mari, the Shy Guys.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have had a photo of that.
That went south, but yeah.
People in the chat are actually talking about food safe Dwarven Forge molds and like Dwarven fudge and stuff. And I remember April Fools for last year we had the
ice.
Yeah, the ice. I don't know if maybe you want to touch base on that, but there's like a reason why you can't actually use that mold for.
I'm not sure on the specifics of if the mold is food safe or not, but we've been pouring resin in it, so resin and also like resin dye sometimes. So I would not trust it.
Right. Odin Forge DM has a question for you that he also asks all DF employees when they're on, except Aaron, unfortunately. What is your favorite adult beverage?
See, now I'm picturing him with a big stein of his favorite adult beverage, which is some sort of beer, and and his big grin.
Sideburns just out of control.
Yeah. No, they're there.
For
They're
shot, I like Fireball.
Well, no, I'm talking like quarantine sideburns.
not.
I've been like making things like Moscow mules and like
Ooh,
and mojitos.
those are fun.
Well,
I'm just casually just like lazy like Saturday.
I something about copper makes sense. Like you drinking drinks out of a copper.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that packs. Like after I got that
Yeah.
from like I forgot the old bills or whatever it's called, wild bills. Like I got that because I wanted to make Moscow mules.
Makes sense. You know, speaking of pandemic sideburns, I talked to Thad, video chat with Thad from Vorpal Board today. His beard is getting really pandemic full.
Nice.
It's like yeah.
So is Padme's lover.
Yeah, he's getting his pandemic beard.
Yeah, mine's not really growing in that fast. It's a little disappointing, but we're working on it.
You know, that was one of the disappointing things about getting older. Is I always thought I'd at some point grow into having a beard, but it's never really panned out for me.
Doesn't they grow for you?
It's not a good look. I've tried. Like it just doesn't. It's never. I don't really get the full coverage to really. I'm no dwarf. I'll be honest.
For me, I just like started on like one of those like no shave Novembers, and I'm just like I don't really want. Just lazy. Not just lazy, but just like it works. Why change it?
You get good coverage. Yeah, I don't. It's patchy. Not quite all there.
I may suggest trying fig vodka with your mules.
Fake vodka?
Fig
Like FIG fig, like Newton's.
Whoa.
That sounds really. I love fig.
Sounds really good.
They are underrated.
That's delightful. Yeah. I actually just bought some fig Newtons.
Also, prunes. Like, why doesn't anybody like prunes?
Oh, they're delicious.
You know that some things aren't vegan?
What?
Some figs aren't vegan?
There's I think there's a specific type of fig, or just like a specific, or like a class of figs that, in order to pollinate, they, like, the bee carries the pollen to them, but then like it gets trapped in there.
They're
and then
carnivorous figs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's not vegan, but it's pretty metal, so I'll still eat those. That sounds like Wildlands inspiration.
Yeah, I was say we need an angry fig tree.
Yeah.
It's just like,
or a fiddle fig leaf.
It makes Newtons out of dwarves. Amazing. So so you came to Dwarven Forge, and for some reason you never left.
Yeah, it just was fun. Like I grew up playing Legos, like and stuff like that, and like like I did some D&D before, but like just and with architecture, my mind was always like space, like thinking about space and stuff like that, like and in 3D. So it was like perfect for me.
It certainly placed all your strengths. Like there's no doubt. And I have some stuff after you get through this blog, and we can look at some of the. We got some of your pieces you worked on here.
Yeah, I'm just putting the clay on to get the basic shape, and then later on I'll cut it down.
Well, that's the hard part, is you have to get it really super precise.
Really, yeah.
Those 90-degree angles and.
I mean, this thing helps. Just for me, I use this and a box cutter.
Box cutters, that's a little bit dangerous.
Yeah. It's dangerous, but like it just cuts it like clean and just.
So you're dual wielding a dwarven ruler and a box cutter. It's the best. And
what class is that?
Artificer. Definitely artificer.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, he's got a ruler involved. Like, how do you what other class would have a ruler? A wizard? I don't know.
No, artificer. I think
Gotta
if
be.
anything, maybe a multi-classer, but artificer for sure. Azure Cobalt would like to know what your favorite gaming food or snacks are. Also,
favorite game?
Food.
Your food or snacks for gaming, but also let's do favorite game.
Favorite game? Kirby Air Ride from Nintendo GameCube.
Ooh.
Fucking love that. That's art. Ooh, I really like that game.
What game?
It's just it was this Kirby game, but it was like this racing thing. But then there was like this whole like sandbox like
Ooh.
where you just like try to like collect things, like improve your ship, and then like also play this one mini game at the end. We just like I love that game a lot.
Have you ever played Pikmin?
Pikmin, yeah.
Okay.
Not that much, but I have played.
Is it like Pac-Man?
No, it's not Pac-Man.
It's not
and it's
similar.
Not Pokemon. It's Pikmin. We have a copy at the office. It's very funny. It's on the computer, guys.
Astronaut who collects plants that turn into minions.
They're so cute.
Like treasures and like they fight enemies for you.
You have an insane Nintendo collection, also.
Yeah, I've been like passively trying to make a collection of just like all the Nintendo consoles or just like the history of like.
Do you have the glove?
Wait, how do you
I still do not have the Power Glove.
How do you passively collect every Nintendo there is? Like,
I already had a good basis for it since I've been like mostly Nintendo.
Yeah.
And just like every now and then I was like, oh, I've heard this console. Let's see if on eBay if there's a.
So you lightly poke around here and there.
Yeah, one of the things I have is TV Game 15, Color TV Game 15 which was a precursor to the NES. It's like the first video game console.
The name is a little
yeah.
Yeah.
It played Pong in 15 different ways.
I love it.
Why you would need that, but
I mean, you know, when you need options, but not that many.
Yeah. It's like 15 different types of macaroni and cheese.
If you know what you're about, but you want to shake it up a little bit sometimes.
You got 15 different beers.
Yeah, hey.
It'd be easy.
So we never got the favorite snack, though.
Favorite snack?
Yeah.
For when this just popped up in my head, really, like, I guess I was thinking Chinese food, but then I remember this one thing I've been wanting to make. Like when me and my friend went to Japan, like 2 years ago, like in one place they had the Chinese chicken burger.
What?
Which is basically just sesame chicken in a hamburger bun.
Oh,
yum!
It is so well.
Oh, that sounds good.
But like, yeah, it's like I don't know why we don't see that here.
I want a second dinner now.
Need a change, yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
so
I get the consistency right for the sesame chicken, so I'll try to rebuild that.
I feel like it's gonna be fairly simple once you like, because I think Chinese food is intimidating to make, but then once you kind of get the ingredients and know how to make it, it's super simple.
I made a General Tao's tofu the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was it green?
No.
Oh no tofu verde.
Toby, I just had a terrible revelation.
Yes.
So there's the leading edge on the water is a very specific. See, there's like a curve on the leading edge of the water.
If I can find all.
No, the thing you have, that thing on that piece you have, it's on every piece. All of them have the exact same. The leading edge at the bottom there.
This thing, yeah.
That is a very important template, and because it's the same on the bottom there as it is the top. Like one of those needs to fit on top of itself. And you'll notice if you put this on top of the other piece, the top of the water and the bottom of the water are the exact same leading edge as the leading edge of this one. And if you go to if you go to the river spill out piece, the leading edge on that, and then the top. See, both the top and the bottom of that are the same.
Okay.
So in retrospect, that would have been the.
I can do is when I cut the top off, I can put this on and just get the trace of this.
Yeah, but then make sure whatever one you use as the template you need, and the bottom of it needs it too. That's the trickier one.
Yeah.
And then it needs to be the same on all of them.
Yeah.
Because that's crucial for the fit. I totally neglected to. I wonder if there's anything else. Hang on, hold that thing up. Let me see if there's any other important geometry.
I'm gonna
A
run to
little
the
higher.
bathroom while you guys do
A
this.
little higher. I can't remember if there's any other. The bottom of this needs to, the little feet that stick out need to be able to sit against a, well, yeah, that needs to line up, but also I believe they're flat so that you can put yeah, they need to be able to sit against the Banks pieces. And then what was the other crucial?
Just me doing the box cutter.
Yeah, totally safe.
I'm not using the handle.
The man, I wish I had them in hand. I forgot the other. I can't remember what else is there's.
I mean, you can always make mods to it.
Yeah, it's true. But the key one is figuring out that template so you can have a, you can sketch it on the wood so that so that Eli gets it all lined up, nice like. You saw the red hole in the other one, right?
What?
You saw the red hole in the other one?
Yeah, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what else. What if we go into the other things? You can time lapse this for next week. We can show.
Yeah. Okay.
Before you cut your fingers off on live camera.
I've never done that. So,
I know.
Yeah, I've been using this method a lot. Like, I'm careful with my fingers.
They're valuable. So what's the other? So you're gonna do some casting?
Yeah, I guess I'll do a casting.
Well, sure. First, before you do, show the. Let's see the side by side of the foam and the clay, where we're at so far.
Basically, right now it's. See, this isn't the clay. What's important is you put a lot extra on,
and then carve it.
Then when you cut it off, you get like clean edges. You don't have to like fill it things in. So side by side.
Hold it up higher, higher, higher. There you go, higher. There you go, perfect. Wow.
Selena says that now is a good opportunity to cut off some fingers, Toby.
Right? Do it for science, for art. This is.
I mean, why would I do it now? It's when I can't get them reattached at the hospital as much because other people have more serious things going on.
Just think of it as doing it on hard mode.
Blocking with no fingers.
Yeah, and going to the hospital. Just like the entire thing is just for an expert. But
do you know?
We are at 8:09 if we want to do the fan build.
Yeah, and wait, why don't you? We'll do the fan build and the giveaway while you transition to the next phase of your demonstrations.
Give me the keyword or something.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the keyword?
So for the giveaway, it's U.S. only. We're gonna have a keyword. And it's going to be for a starter dungeon.
No, I still don't have the starter dungeon queued up.
Okay, so then it's going to be for the DVDs?
No. I mean, I just don't have the picture queued up. But yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. So it's for a starter dungeon. I will find the link online so that you guys can click it and see what it is since we don't have that ready. But it's awesome. It comes with all the basics that you would need. And Toby, I don't know if you have a keyword or anything that you can think of that's fun.
Sally's She-Shack.
Oh, I love that.
She-Shack.
She-Shack?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
SHESHACK.
No spaces?
No space.
One word.
Okay, so She-Shack. SHESHACK.
That was our gal from Gen Con?
Yeah.
It was Mary, actually.
Was it Mary?
No, it was Terry.
Terry.
His name was Terry, but we always said Sally Shack, She Shack by the She Shack.
Yeah, when we
scooter.
We got on Lime scooters and like it circled around that.
Yeah,
we got loopy.
I missed Gen Con already.
I know.
So type in She Shack for your chance to win a starter dungeon. We're giving away either a Blu-ray or a DVD depending on what Odin, Forge, and Denth pick. We'll give
Right.
you. So,
We'll cue that up in a bit. I think we can only do one keyword at a time.
can we? What if we bundle it? Is that crazy, or is it better to spread it out?
Oh, we could bundle it. It.
Well,
I don't see why not.
all right. Bundle.
All right, so you're getting a DVD / Blu-ray
Yeah.
and a starter dungeon.
And then what? And what was it? Oh, we are gonna show the fan.
Anvil.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have, who's this coming to us from?
This is from, I believe it's pronounced Tyler Klein. It's a new member in our Facebook group who just got his first few sets of the Dungeon of Doom. And he says he was very impressed with the modularity of this set, and then it's a quick dungeon that he threw together with a minor mutation of it to show off more elements.
And this was basically like on this floor. When in the next picture, we'll see like there's just there's bags and pieces all over the floor. It's awesome. But what I was excited about, what I like about this is this is kind of like, this is a dungeon you'd see on your table, right? It's a realistic size to play in a session. It's got a nice mix of negative space and regular, a bunch of traps. It's like just like a fun, like it's actual thing you could have an adventure in. And then we've got, what do I have for the other photos of it? We've got.
I also like that it's elevated, like it slowly grows, so it's realistic, but it's also, like they use the terrain trays well. It's spaced out, and somebody earlier was just saying that they never have enough space on their table, but that's always when you should move to the floor.
Traps too. Look at this. Traps. Crossbow traps and spike traps and snake traps. Traps.
Traps.
And
got some treasure in there too.
Yeah. Last one. Boom. Traps. Secret door with the Sword of Andronicus back there. It's fun. Look at the floor with bags everywhere. Yay! So put your if you want your photo featured, put them up in the where do you put them in the Facebook group?
Facebook's normally where I find them, but they could do it all over social.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, I'll say we should have a submission. Should we have a submission email or something for people to send us M&Ms and stuff?
We have a Twitch email. We just have to talk to Jay about it because he was kind of. We'll discuss this.
Okay.
So another thing while Toby is off getting
phase 2 of the operation.
Yeah, phase 2. Oh man, my brain just. Okay, yeah. Just a quick reminder about joining our Wildlands email site. It's going to be the first place that you can find out about all the Wildlands updates and everything like that. It's already getting dark in here.
Actually, guess where the first place they can find out information is?
Yeah.
Right here.
Right here.
We're the first, right? We're the first line. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what if the email goes out at like 6:59 though?
Has that ever happened?
It might. I'm here to start doing emails and stuff. I might beat us to the punch.
Fine, sold.
No, I don't know, but that's a great way to follow it if you ever just want updates.
Sign up.
Questions or anything. Normally they're answered in the newsletter. And of course, you can always tune in to On the Anvil and have a great time with Nate and I and other people. And
you might see Toby cut his fingers off, walk to the hospital.
You might see really weird stuff happen. Eli did the splits once.
That's true, on camera.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's been a lot of stuff that's happened where it's just memorable. Like we had all the Doom impressions.
Is there a stunt we can get Toby to do?
Ooh.
What is he?
I don't know.
That. Speaking of people walking to the hospital, this is ages ago. I don't know. My uncle was painting his gutters or something, and he'd been working all day. Maybe he was painting the roof. I don't know. It involved a ladder and paint really high. And he finished, and he looked up and he realized he'd missed like the corner of the gutter or whatever. So he threw the ladder back up and climbed back up real quick. And he didn't it's hard. At the end of the day, your judgment's going a little bit. You're tired, whatever. He didn't really shore up the ladder right, and it fell when he was at the top, and he landed on his picket fence, and it went right through his bicep, and he couldn't get off the fence. And of course, he was like alone, right? So there's nobody there. So he like kicked the picket out of the fence and then walked himself to the hospital with a picket sticking out of his bicep. And
Wow.
yeah, and he could
No,
never play
bad, but like impressive. But
he could never play the bagpipes again. It messed up his that was the I guess it was
this
his
sounds
left
like
arm.
the most interesting
Yeah.
man ever. He plays the bagpipes and he had
Well, the
a bicep injury via picket.
my other my grandpa Jack, who was like the coolest dude ever. He was like a real actual cowboy. I mean, he died when I was like 6. So, but I have all my recollections of him. He was like Paul Bunyan, right? He was just like larger than
Nice.
life, like just yeah, he was amazing. But he was chopping wood. I'm gonna say he was chopping wood with like a double headed axe for some reason or something. I don't know. And he somehow hit himself in the head with the axe. Not entirely sure how that'll happen. And of course he was guess what? He was alone.
Of
And
course.
yeah. And so he drove himself to the hospital, but it was like, just pouring blood. I don't know if you ever had a head wound. I cut this open to the skull, and it's just like pouring. So
I
he's like
hate
pouring it. And he
this.
got a little woozy on the way and was kind of
No
disoriented. And there's blood
kidding.
everywhere. I didn't know. Yeah. So he stopped to ask. There was some guy walking down the street. This is like Vermont. There's not a lot of people on the street, so it was like amazing to find somebody on the street. So he like pulled over like a crazy man. He's like, "Where's the hospital?" And the guy like took one look and fainted because it's just like this dude, like wild-eyed guy with like blood like spraying out of his head. So of course Grandpa Jack gets out of the car and he picks up this stranger and throws him into the back of the car and then drives to the hospital. And they get there and they're like, what's going on? It was like, it looked like there'd been like a gang
Oh my
fight or something. They were playing
gosh.
because he's not the guy that he picked this guy up and the guy's all covered with blood because there's like blood
Right.
spraying out of his head. And he's like, don't worry about me. You got to worry. This guy is really in bad shape. And then he'd kind of like come to and he's like, what's going on? And why am I bloody? And whatever. Yeah, it worked out.
Wow. That's
You know who else? So my roommate in college
oh
was
my gosh. You have so many horror stories. I
yeah
am terrified.
he was so he was a sculptor turned architect. He's the opposite of like
Yeah.
Toby. So he was a sculptor turned architect, and it was winter. It was right after the winter break, and he'd gotten his parents bought him a chainsaw for
Oh good.
Christmas, right? Well, because he was doing amazing chainsaw art, right? The safest form of art. Like he would get all
Great.
these, carving these beautiful stumps and taking blowtorches to them and doing all this like really cool. His senior thesis was like, I don't know, literally like tons of wood that he'd cut up and built this whole room of. It was like bonkers. But so he was like super excited about this new chainsaw because as a college student, it's like a $300 chainsaw. It's like it's gold, and he could just cut. Now he could harvest it instead of having to like look around for wood. He could harvest his own wood. And we were out in the this is barred, like we're in the middle of the woods everywhere. So he drives out to like one of the most remote places he can find where he can like chainsaw and quiet. And of course he's alone. There's a theme here,
Right.
right?
Yes.
And he's doing a lateral cut, and it's like a knotty branch, so it's the wood's really it's just really dense there. So he's pushing, and of course he cuts through, and then he's pushing on, and he swings through with the chainsaw, and it swings around, and it hits his leg, and it hits his kneecap, and it bounces off his kneecap, so it hits him a couple of times, blah, blah, blah. And so that's it's a bloody mess. So he like hobbles, and of course he's parked like I don't know, half a mile away or whatever, because he's like out in the woods. So he like limps back to the car, gets back there, and he's like, "Oh no, I've left my chainsaw back." He's
No.
like, "This is the
Go
chainsaw. This
to
is
the
everything." He's like,
hospital.
"I read." So he limps back and gets his chainsaw, drags his chainsaw back to the car, gets in the car, and then he's like, "Oh man, it's a manual." So he's
All your
trying.
stories sound like it's a manual.
Yeah, so he's got it. So he drives himself. Guess where he drives himself? He goes to health services, right? He doesn't go to the hospital. He goes to like health services, and this is in his first trip to health services, mind you. So he almost took off 2 fingers on the
Hurt.
table saw. He had to get like a crazy lanced. His finger had to get lanced because it was infected because he was doing like I don't know. He's been there a bunch, and they saw him like kind of limping in, like spraying blood everywhere. Instead of being like, hey, we'll like get you an ambulance, or hey, we'll drive you to the hospital, like, no, you got to go to the hospital. Like, they didn't even like, they wouldn't even like barred the door. They're like, you can't even go in, and they like made him get back in the car and drive himself to the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
Which he did, like, I don't know what, and it was pre cell phone. Like, otherwise you could have just like called somebody like, dude, I like cut my leg off. Can you drive me to the hospital, or whatever? But
This all sound like all your stories sound like Final Destination stories.
oh, Final Destination is so fun. It's like the best worst ever franchise.
Yeah.
Final Destination 2 or 3 one. Well, the one that begins with the car crash.
Oh, that one.
Just,
That's
is
like
that 2?
that's
the
a
pinnacle.
classic scene.
It's a pinnacle. Like, that's as good as it. That's
Yeah,
where the guy
exactly.
gets.
I will never be the same driving behind someone with a ton of logs in their car.
Yeah, no, you gotta. Well, hopefully it's not in their car, right? Because that's a.
Well, yeah, no, it'd be like a truck, but also hopefully they're way behind me.
So anyway, I don't know what the moral of the story of any of these stories is, other than I know a lot of people cut themselves badly and driven themselves to the hospital. But where's Toby? Let's do the giveaway. What was it? She Shack.
Okay. While we're waiting on Toby.
Shack.
I'm gonna do the camera over there. I'm finished. I just finished right now.
Woo!
Okay.
All right.
So the winner of the
count
giveaway,
us down, Toby. Can you count us down?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
She
Gray Raven.
Shack. Greg, who? What?
Gray Raven, who's been on our chat a few times. Congratulations.
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 You won.
You won.
Tell him what he's won.
You won.
A starter dungeon.
DVD copy of Forgetting the Girl and a starter dungeon.
And I'll sign it. And if you want it to Gray Raven or to something else, you know. So Toby, did you cut anything off while you were gone?
No, but
No. I told a bunch of stories about cutting people. Whoa! Look at this speed build. Wow.
I'm trying to be careful with the camera because it's in a room, but
What so we got a cool negative space ruins here, and then there's a whole look at these double these
ruins. And then there's like 3 holes where I did.
Hang on, hang on, I gotta get the full camera. Hold on, please stand by.
Okay.
I realize
Azure Cobalt says She Shack baby. Like
wait,
like Love Shack. Love
there we
Shack.
go. Okay. Here we go. Okay, full camera move. Alright, so
Okay, so basically using the dungeon ruins, sorry, this wasn't supposed to be there. But actually they're kinda cool, actually.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, so ruined dungeon with like, sand, quicksand like seeping through, so it probably sucked in a bunch of like the flagstone, and the dungeon ruin has been wall has been eaten away by the Kree.
I love that you've got the ruined door in there plus the wall holes. Wow, cool.
So there's burrows.
Love this.
Here, and then all the holes are connected by burrows.
Wow.
Yeah, the backside isn't as clean, but
yeah, but you did it in like 6 minutes.
Woo! I felt there was more, but so there's your ancient ruins with burrows.
I love that. Man, we don't have an easy way to get that wall with the whole piece in it, do we?
I thought it was in one of those alcove packs. Isn't it?
Maybe, but I don't think there's an easy way. Like I'm saying, it's not an easy. It's not the easiest piece to get. It's in a trove, I think. It's in the Kree colony.
I only saw 3 in our in the shelf, so
yeah.
My answer is that.
Because that's such a cool piece. It's a shame it's hard for people to get.
So
So before we go to casting or whatever, right? Let's show. This is the first piece you worked on at Dwarven Forge, right? Let me get the. Hang on. Let me go to the big.
Yeah. So basically, I was like, I came in and Stefan just like tried sculpting. I was very confused.
Try sculpting.
Walking. And then since those blocks would have been very simple, but like I guess at the time Nina and Eli and stuff like that were all like very busy doing other ones, so I like did more of like the cliff shaped geometry, like the spiky part geometries, and then just end up doing like the textures and stuff. Just and then or Eli uh, like took it much further. Yeah, so at that point it was like it was my first one, so it probably wasn't like good at all. I remember like not understanding the piece, so I put a a floor on it.
Like a dungeon floor texture on the
Not a
top.
dungeon floor, but like the bottom side, it was like there was no ridges. Like it just came to like a perfect 1x2 floor
Hmm.
size.
Well, it was a place to start, right?
Yeah.
And then what? So what else do we have? Oh, do you want to show this thing? Do you want to show any other pieces first? Do you want to look at your casting and then we'll come back and look at some
I mean,
pieces?
like we can go like I did a like uh support sculpting as we went on in Caverns Deep a lot, Dungeon Doom a lot,
Well, you
and
have you
not
have
as well, but
you wear a
starting
lot of hats.
starting and then Eli and Nina like finish it up. But yeah,
Well,
what were you saying?
you wear a lot of hats, right? You're a Swiss Army knife, right? You're the bard of the like. You've got a pretty wide skill set.
Yeah, it's like I do, but like I just really enjoy sculpting, so I've been trying to like keep doing that as much as I can.
Well,
Yeah.
this thing you did an enormous amount of work on this crystal insert
I remember
piece.
doing that as when we were doing
Sketch
the
sculpts.
crystal sketch phase. I just want everyone's doing crystals, and I just wanted to try making a geode.
Well, that was such a cool. So in the beginning of Caverns Deep, we did a whole bunch of right those sketch sculpt textures, just sort of playing around with what are some interesting caverns textures, and then we did one with crystals. So we went all over the place, and you did a giant geode wall, and that
Yeah,
idea ended up basically becoming this thing.
I like that one. It was like the floor and the wall were just like a geode thing, and then there was like
Yeah,
flat crystals where you can walk on.
yeah, it was insane. It was, but it was like an hour. You know, there were these super fast, like cool sketch
Yeah,
sculpts. Like it was like, yeah, just rough, like kind of just throwing ideas out in 3D. It
yeah.
was
And
really
then
cool.
after we figured out like the LEDs should be remote control on that, was figuring out all that was really fun too.
Well, that was a cool right of this one, which does a sample, right? Is this working?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You figured out. I was like, oh, we're gonna do this RGB thing. You're like, dude, I can get the controller inside. Wait. What do you mean? You're like, just check this out. And you're like, what? This works.
Yeah, because we're using just the pods, It's like I just want to I ripped out the circuit board and just put it in there.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna have to be able to like you'd have to open it, program them, close them up, do a thing. And you're like, no,
Yeah,
no.
just looking at that, we just
Yeah.
literally just the board touching the the batteries, so you just rewire it so the batteries are elsewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Wait, where is this? Yeah, that was a very cool discovery. That we could actually remote control these from here without touching it. That was a good. It's a classic Tobi touch. Right, your thing is you look at everything and you're like, well, how can I make this? What other
Yeah,
functionality?
I like trying to figure out what like maximize features on each piece, like within like the like what makes sense.
Or what's feasible, right? Like we have. It turns out there's a limited budget, there's limited time, there's limited
Yeah,
components.
but more like not like super high tech it, but just like change the geometry so it supports OLPs, or just like
Can,
using some simple technology that we're already playing with and seeing what we can do with it.
slide a little bit to your right if you could. I'm cropping
Um,
your. There you go.
Too much?
No, yeah. Can
Yeah. Or I just rotate the computer.
you see that? So
Yeah.
what? So Let's go look at what you're casting, and we can look at some more pieces next.
Sorry, I'll bring the computer over there again.
Yeah.
Woo!
We're getting a tour.
I apologize for this. So here, like in the time lapse that you saw earlier, like if people remember the 4x4. Sorry, my brain just broke for a second. What's the word?
Basalt.
Basalt stone. Like I like this piece a lot because I feel like I was involved in the creation of this piece a lot, like both with the sculpting and figuring out like the LEDs and like figuring out like how like the part should be removable because if the light comes in sideways, it kind of gets like it refracts off the surface. And yeah, I remember like pushing the basalt idea because I like the idea of the base, like there's a universal language there where basalt meant LED and yeah.
Yeah, it was both this and the. I got two big LED pieces.
And the freestanding the wall insert one side.
Oh yeah. Do I have that one on? Yeah. Let me get one of those. All right. This little guy. Yeah. Basalt equals LED. It's a simple equation. All right. So what are you wiring? What are you wiring up over there? What are you doing?
Wired up is like the bottom side of this, which is there. Yeah. Complicated. It's like the one I did for the prototype of the piece was slightly more complicated because this one I did in a series circuit and the other one I did in parallel circuit because parallel would give better like energy and like longer lasting.
Well, so basically, the process is you get the thing like you have an idea. We're like, all right, we're gonna put some LEDs in this thing.
I was jumping the gun.
Yeah, we're like, all right, we're gonna put some LEDs in this thing, and we're like, here's the measurements. You're like, all right, sounds good. And then we'll, a month later, you get a hunk of resin and say, okay, now it's time to put all those batteries in, or make some magic. What happened?
Where the drilling needs to go, where like the battery needs to go, like how to like and then figuring out like using just wires, like boards, how to like get sometimes several functions.
Yeah, originally this was only gonna have one, right? We were just gonna have like a white LED setting, and you were like, what if we put, right? Didn't you?
I mean, we already did it in the castle.
Oh, that's right.
Before, so
my timeline is all.
It's hard to like look back and just remember when came what.
I guess the innovation on this one was the LEDs are tipped up slightly.
Yeah.
Right.
I think this piece is also a great example of how sometimes customs will find our pieces and think it looks like a bomb. Just all the wiring and stuff, and that is a problem with shipping. Odin Forge would like to know how many casting iterations did you have to do for Hellscape to find the right color?
Oh
my god, that took so long because it was like not only is it like really hard to like get the right colors, like the consistency was so hard, like because I was doing like drops of yellow, and I need to scale that up according to the amount of resin as well. I was pouring for because some pieces are so much bigger.
Well, so backing up the challenge on Hellscape here. Of course, I don't have any painted samples, right? But here's our final cast color. The idea was, let's see if I. Hold off on Hellscape. Like, stay on this one for a sec. I'll get Hellscape pieces ready. Keep talking about this thing.
Okay.
Cool.
Another question is, do you have to deal with any of the shrinkage between the original sculpt and the final sculpts as Orion Noir?
Uh, so the shrinkage is less noticeable with the in-house casting we do here, with to the molds we make and then the white resin or the clear resin. With the polystone prototype castings that we get from our factory, like there's shrinkage is a little bit more noticeable. So it doesn't really affect unless there's like things that need to fit together.
Yeah.
Like drawers or like, well, what it's sometimes when like we get the polystone casting back, but then we need to sculpt something new that fits with that piece.
Yeah.
We need to just keep in mind that like don't rely on the casting, rely on the measurements.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard lesson. So the hellscape piece, I got these out here. So we had the challenge. I don't have any painted ones yet. Soon, but the challenge was these were. Where is the single can?
I don't see any there. Okay. Yeah.
So the
I don't know where they are. If you want to find them, Toby.
Should I get them or should I just leave it on the camera?
leave it on camera. So the challenge was we needed to find we needed these things to look really good, just without light, and then also when illuminated, needed to have a cool, needed to feel like they were glowing. So it was first process was kind of figuring out, what does that mean? Like when it paints, are we doing them red and then painting the lighter parts? Where we quickly sort of after a couple of quick experiments discovered it's like, well, and it's kind of obvious, right? That it's got to be the hottest. The brightest thing is what we want to start with, and then you paint everything else. You get darker from there. So it was trying to find the perfect yellow, and that was like, so Toby just kept trying, like, I don't know, just variations. And first it was crystal clear, and then it got really opaque, and then it was somewhere in between, and then it was a yellow, then it was an orange yellow, then it was like
I remember having to like the different resins also, like the resin dyes also like because a lot of them were more like translucent and less opaque. Like I realized that like a glass paint or something like that worked in giving us the milkiness.
Well, that was the big discovery, was milkiness bought us some, like, we thought at first they were like, oh, it's got to be clear so we get all the light through and it can really do this. But then we discovered that if it had a little bit of if it was translucent, if it wasn't perfectly clear, it diffused the light and dispersed it really nicely, and helped us just helped us kind of even it out across the board. So that was the first
to like how the G temple pieces were like,
yeah.
And at the same dyes. That's why I remember like that dyes work. But yeah, it just
there's a lot of trial and error.
A lot of figuring out how many drops per volume, and the consistency, and like running back with Aaron to make sure the paint like worked great as like a base of the piece, and also like transition from like the opaque painted parts to the clear parts.
And then it had to be repeatable, right? Like you had to be able to do, all right, Toby, this is great. Now we need 500 pieces like it. Go.
Yeah.
How did you name the different yellows?
Bad. Oh, this one works. Bad.
You didn't have like mustard or
yellow number 5?
I mean, there was
huh?
The one that I ended up trying, but we don't speak that word here, so.
Yeah, I know. I did not. I said the other condiment.
Yeah, but that was a actual color that ended up happening by accident.
We had a lot of happy and unhappy accidents.
Yeah. Emphasis on unhappy for that one, right?
It's called trial and error, and trial, error.
Well,
Yeah, hold on. Let me grab one thing real quick.
Well, and trial and error is one of the fun, one of the fun things about doing something, right? Like we're doing stuff that nobody's done, right? We're trying to find new ways to do terrain, new techniques of, just new ways to bring your table to life, new fun things to build, new ways to attack all this stuff. And so that's part of the fun, is like blazing a trail, right? We're just trying to figure out, what's the coolest way to do glowing lava? Like nobody's done that. What's the
Yeah.
I don't know. And it requires a lot of trial and error, and sometimes going out of your comfort zone. Ah, the rainbow.
Yeah, it just like the spare resin, like colored resin that I had from doing cast iron was like had the dungeon wall out, and just over time I made the rainbow.
Woo! It's the best.
Man, have you tried those underneath a light panel?
Tried what?
And some of them glow better.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, also every now and then, like, I'll find on my desk that Tobi will leave like a crazy experiment, like a thing that didn't work out, like a piece that's kind of like melted or whatever, or just like nice piece of purple resin, or like just like various like bits. Nina does it too. Like I got like a weird like a melted dye or thing, like just like neat things that didn't quite work out that are just interesting, because turns out I'm a hoarder and I like I like pretty things that are interesting, have a little story, and like, oh yeah, this was from when we were doing this, and it's like,
the last one was pretty cool though.
Which one?
The failed 3D print.
Which failed 3D print? Hang on.
Of the, I can't say the name of it yet, I don't think.
It was pre-pandemic. I can't remember what it is, but I remember a thing that didn't. I don't know. Well, you have to tell me offline. See, like, yeah.
Anyway, it basically just like it stopped doing halfway, so there was like a sectioning, and then like the thing was.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Made hollow, so you can see like internal pipes and stuff like that, and like the supports.
Love the internal. Oh yeah. That was a cool. Yeah, we're messing around with some 3D chicanery.
Well, isn't 3D also fairly new to like the bigger scale stuff? Because I feel like you've had that in production maybe before when you brought it in from home, Tobi. But we only a few months ago, like maybe in November, bought a 3D printer machine to use for armatures and whatnot.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's been going nonstop until we
got the we're like, we're not doing a sculpt, but yeah, it's like as a support, like I like the idea of using a 3D printer as like we're to support our traditional sculpting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty it's an awesome tool.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, so back to your this basalt thing. So what did so this is what the final looks like. So show them what you so what in order to mock this thing up, what did you do? Show us the what you got there.
So if you saw like quickly fly by during the what's called
pre-roll,
but it's like once you cast this piece and I cast the separate part.
Hold it down. We can't see. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I keep forgetting my picture on the bottom. Sorry. So yeah, I need to do that in separate castings, and then once I get the casting, I need to drill out the base to be able to have a good enough area for batteries, the switch, and then drill out the areas where the lights would go. And like sometimes they're like big long tubes.
Well, and then the challenge is you've got to do a bunch, right? I'm like, oh, this is fantastic, Tobi. All right, make 6 of them.
Yeah, there's certain ones like I don't think I did like that many of this piece.
You had at least 2, maybe 3.
Yeah. I remember there being 2.
3 of the or 2. Yeah. The
got destroyed after all the fog in the.
Yeah, you got rusted, and it was sitting in fog monster water for ages. And then sometimes you cast the piece right, like an LED right in the piece, right? How does that How do you
Yeah,
do
it's
that? Ooh, how do you want to show us some casting? Didn't you say you had something?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so guys, choose a color.
Ooh.
Whoa.
In
Am
the
I
chat, go ahead and put your color down.
allowed to give them a hint? Purple.
No, we know what
Okay.
you want. I think they also know what you want.
No, they can
But
choose what they want.
you can either guess Nate's favorite color, or you can put a color down that you'd like to see.
Peanut M&Ms.
Wait, why do you like M&Ms? There's no purple.
They're just delicious. They're little bite-sized things. You can.
Skittles says purple.
Did you, Toby? Oh,
What?
we put the light panel under the burrows on when was
cool.
this was last week's on the Anvil, right? Under the egg. It was
Yeah.
it was outrageous. It
I
was
think
like
I remember doing that release once. Like you can do that in with the what's called the dungeon floor that has the drill hole in it,
yes.
so you don't get the light leak from the side.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of leak around the edges, but it was like suddenly all 5 egg sacs all glowing at the same time. It was glorious.
So
That
cool.
was I was gonna do that for the live game, and then I realized I'd left the light panels at home, but I didn't realize that there was all the working light panels like literally 2 feet behind me on the bottom shelf. I could have just done it on there and whatever, but yeah, because it just looked outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the colors, we have a tie between blue and purple.
So
2
you're
entries for blurple, and then
Blurp.
1 teal, 1 green, and 1 yellow.
So take what you want out of that, Toby.
Do a blurple. Interpret that, artist.
I mean, I want to do teal, but if the other two are winning,
I want you to do teal too. I'll throw in a vote for teal.
Let's
Okay.
do it. Let's do it for teals.
Totally not biased.
scope the mold I have here, I realize that it has the LEDs, the sockets that go into like the wall, so I can put an LED in there.
Oh, nice.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and it's the mushroom ones.
Woo, cool.
Ooh.
We do already have blue, so I'll do teal.
Nice.
Cool. So.
Fun.
Oh.
So the molds, we didn't really talk about the molds. So basically, if we're gonna cast stuff in house, that's a whole nother episode. The
Would you have him cast an entire purple dungeon for you?
no, that's outrageous. We can just paint one.
True.
Hey, hey, Aaron, if you're watching, it's a purple dungeon. I have a purple dungeon. I painted my wait. Wow, it's a lot of it. I forgot I had
I love all this ASMR that's going on. Well, I guess this is a great time to remind you guys in the chat that if you want to hear more about Wildlands, you can either tune into On the Anvil or you can join the mailing list I just posted.
Look at this.
Oh. Toby, can you tilt your camera down so we can see what your hands are doing?
You can even see this on the. Hang on, I've just taken the camera over
Oh.
to show Purple Dungeon.
Good segue.
Ooh, that one here. Ooh.
Is it purple?
Yeah,
Oh, I
you can
see a little
that
bit of
here.
purple. Okay, yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's purple and blue and hang on. There's not enough
Oh, look
light.
at
I need
that.
light.
Is there a stone that naturally is purple?
Like a gemstone, like amethyst.
Well, not gemstone, but like rock more
I don't know. Ask Eli.
limestone, but herb stone.
Yeah, I have buckets of. I painted all my KS1 dungeon purple and blue.
That's another thing that if you get it painted, you can just do touch-ups and kind of customize it. So,
You know what to compare? Hang on.
oh, obsidian. That's a purple stone.
Obsidian's black.
It's black purple, but yeah, you're right. Somebody said obsidian and they said black purple blurple, but a different kind of blurple. Amethyst.
Yeah, that's the jam. There you go. That's my purple.
Oh, Toby's got his mask on.
Oh, it's getting real in there. Wait, we got a chin.
Oh yeah, you got a cool tone dungeon there.
Yeah, that's when I decided I didn't ever want to paint terrain again. Is this? Yeah.
Alright, look at the safe practice Toby's got going on. Not only for casting, but also for distancing, socially.
I want to see someone on the street with this mask.
Yeah, I saw somebody with that on too. I was very impressed. I knew they were a man of more work than like they had to do something intense if they had that mask, or they just ran out.
Here's my mess of resin dyes.
Is it a dye, like an ink that you put into it, or is it like paint?
It's like, it's essentially, it's a dye.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mixed it in. I'll show you in a second.
Okay.
We're gonna make Toby talk while he take the mask off to talk, and that's how he's. That was the last we saw, Toby.
Yeah, just learn sign language.
Why do you want to kill me?
There's a lot of reasons, but we only have a few more minutes.
Yeah, don't want to waste time explaining the death wish.
No, I'll just put it in your will and testament.
Testament.
I thought you said will and intestines.
Yeah, I'll do that too. Stop uncovering your nose. So, for the viewers at home, Toby is normally very safe, but he is safer now because sometimes mistakes happen. And there was one time, and I had just started, and it was terrifying, where Toby had gotten some resin in his eye.
Oh.
And
I didn't get it in my eye. Nearly missed.
it was so bad.
So happy about that, but yeah.
Very scary.
This looks green. Green and blue. Okay.
Sparagamite can be a naturally occurring purple stone, says Neophoria. Gray Raven says, no one cared who I was until I put on the mask. Which is the bane of my existence. I hate it. I guess yesterday was Batman's birthday.
Really?
Apparently, because it was also Tyler's birthday, and he said that it was Batman's birthday, and I'm inclined to believe him. Nope, Toby, keep that mask on.
When did the comic started?
Oh, it's when the comic started.
Oh. Because it was the day after Grayson's birthday. It's the 25th.
Yeah, Grayson's got his own superhero. He doesn't need Batman.
Right? Go off on his own as Nightwing. Yeah.
He's gonna be the son of Gray. I don't know. I personally I understand that Batman's cool to a lot of people, but when you're picking a superhero, he is not the first pick I would go with.
Who's your first pick?
I like Aquaman a lot, but I think the Tick is my favorite.
The Tick seems very you.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm all about
Who do you like?
Nightcrawler.
Oh, okay, yeah. Nightcrawler's dope.
Yeah, he's got pointed ears. He's got a tail. He can teleport. He has a rapier. Like, he's awesome.
Yeah,
like, everything's
say
like,
no
he's got
more.
German accent. He's like, yeah. Dynamite.
Isn't Sparagamite what the Fraggles eat, says Grey Raven. Oh, what 3D printers do we use in the office? I actually don't know.
Form 3.
Form 3.
Form 3.
Just keep your mask on. Don't die on camera.
I haven't taken the rest out yet.
Don't chop.
Like, Ocean's gonna be one of our they're sitting at home for every on the anvil. They're like, oh, that's Nate twirling his knife. That's another write up. And
What's that? The safety inspector, Stacy. We better not tell Stacy about this show.
Yeah.
Put it on my list of things not to do. Don't tell Stacy.
How would she know? Why would you ever tell her?
I don't know, but if You know.
Okay, I'll put it on the list
Yeah.
of words that with the taboo stuff.
For the viewers at home, we had a safety inspector come to the office, which was nerve wracking.
That was one
Yeah.
of the most stressful days that I've had in a long time. Well,
Yeah.
before Q,
Yeah.
but
That's yeah. We're
well, we're all people of arts and crafts. Like you had mentioned that you're a hoarder, but I don't think it's hoarding. I think it's saving resources.
yeah.
And part of that is using them and crafting really fast. And also sometimes you just are so inspired and working on a project so diligently that you can forget to put away your tools.
Yeah.
Um,
All
and
of
when you
them.
forget and you neglect it over time, you start to have new piles that you didn't have before. Or originally maybe had, oh, this is a nice stack of wood that's organized. And then eventually you have, oh, this is a fire hazard that I prefer here because it's quick and close at hand. So,
And that eventually becomes a death trap.
yes. But
Yeah.
we now have a weekly organization once we are in office. We've had it for a while of the workroom. We also have a daily clean out and you have to vacuum the machines. So we're doing everything as diligently and as cleanly as we can now. But yeah, it's hard to keep an artist tame.
She asked to watch me how I use the saw, and that was an interesting one.
And
I was like, "Are you sure you really want to watch this?" Because I put my finger really close to the blade. I'm like, "But it couldn't actually cut it off." And she's like, "Well, absolutely you could." I'm like, "No, it's like it's at a low speed. No, it's not going through the bone." She's like, "Yeah, it turns out you're not supposed to argue with them either about whether or not a saw can cut your finger off."
yeah, that didn't maybe
Yeah.
not help. We
Yeah.
gotta get a real life bag of holding for all the things that we need
Oh,
to
portable
keep stuff.
hole. We just roll the portable hole out on the floor and just pour everything in, and then scrub and like, hey, look, we got nothing.
Yeah.
We just moved
And
in.
that way you can be a hoarder and it's not getting in your way.
Oh, if I had a
But
portable
that's
hole down here. Oh, here goes Toby.
Ooh.
Fire in the hole. It's kind of like I don't know. I don't have a good analogy. It's all pixelated. Yeah. We have to just imagine a close-up camera.
I'll squint and it'll look closer, maybe. Oh no, that doesn't work.
Teal.
Here we go.
Nice. How long until that cures?
It's about like 10 minutes.
Nice. Set the time. Oh, we should give this away.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Let's give it to Grey Raven, right? Grey Raven won.
Yeah.
Raven gets
Okay,
the-
so it's going in that box too.
Yeah.
All right, Grey Raven, you just got another prize.
Woo!
Wow, that's super cool.
That's what we're going for. Super cool.
So now normally a disclosure that maybe, I mean, he's taking his mask off. Normally this would go in a pressure chamber,
Sometime.
but there's also a significant amount of noise that happens from a pressure chamber. And we, as you all know at home, are very good about audio levels and that stuff. So
Come on. Too soon.
I don't blame you. I blame the computers. I like genuinely, OBS doesn't have an efficient way to get the audio in. It's hard. But
Sorry.
Yeah.
also you can't adjust volumes on the Slack calls, so that's like
Yeah, we get. Hey, on a totally random note on this basalt floor, for those of you that remove your insert to put in like this where'd it go? The Crazy Gramorna floaty pedestal. If you're trying to figure out how to line it up, it's like a crazy puzzle. There's a little notch. I don't know if you can see. See there, is it? Oh man, I can't. There you go. See that little notch? There's a little notch there, and then there's a notch. There's a cutout on the bottom of your piece, and you just line those up, and it goes right in like a. Where is it?
Oh, really?
nice.
Yeah.
You didn't know.
Well,
Ah.
another thing that you do, Toby, is research and development stuff.
Yeah. I've been taking that on a little bit more. Like, I don't know if.
I don't think we can talk too much about
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I don't
It's
think
very-
I can talk about that, but like, it's been fun, like figuring out puzzles and like trying to like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not declassified
You
yet.
had like engineer now too.
yeah. It's like especially with like the when I'm 3D modeling this stuff and then like printing it out, I feel like just like trying to figure out everything like the mechanical parts of like things.
Turn your camera down, Toby. Oh,
Too
a little
far.
bit up. There you go. There's your face.
Yay! We found the Toby. Um, yeah. So you where is this triple cam? There he is. Remote control. Yeah, you have many hats. Well, I guess you just wear that hat a lot, but I mean you have a lot of roles, a lot of skill sets. Oh, let's look at a couple of these other what did I pull out here that was a oh, I guess it was a basalt. What was that thing? It's the bit. The so what did you just cast?
I just cast the mushroom LED. What's it called?
Yeah.
The wall socket one.
Wasn't there something else? Wasn't there a large thing you cast also, or was that all?
I also casted the top of the basalt LED thing.
Oh, cool. So you have this
Same
thing,
mold. So
this thing in teal.
well, I think it's more closer to blue. I was trying to put a lot more green in there, but
So it's
you can't really tell until it comes out.
so it's bleal.
You know,
Legal.
it's
Well, it's a one of a kind. Great Ribbon's gonna get a one of a kind. You know the other fun one of a kind thing you do? Oh man, I had one. Oh wait. Stay on target. I know where it is.
While you're looking, have you ever put a marshmallow in your pressure cooker? Not cooker, but pressure machine.
I gotta try that. I want to get the whole bag of marshmallows.
That's what I said too. Finley Shard says, "Let me know. Your next time lapse is just gonna be the effects of a pressure machine on a
I mean,
marshmallow."
I can't get the camera in there, but still.
Yeah, well, you can dream, I guess. They get big before collapsing when you change the pressure back, says Finley.
Yeah, makes sense. If it's a vacuum, it will just get large, and then
That's awesome.
a pressure chamber, I guess it will get small, and then when you take it out,
Oh,
pop back up.
This was Toby cast for Gen Con, or one was it Gen Con? One of these you cast
no, it was for PAX East.
PAX East and party colored dragon heads for the wall
And then we did the anvils for the
for
Gen Con.
for Gen Con. That's right. Somewhere. Yeah, it's fun. Just sort of I don't know, cast like 500 little dragon heads in different colors.
I might
For
have one
fun.
around here too. Those I was so excited to. Well, we said 500, and we were like, oh, there's no way we're gonna get rid of all of them. But like,
Gone and yeah.
we were like having to like really bottom of the barrel at the last day.
Well, it's fun. You know, it's fun to be able to give stuff away. You know, have fun, have unique things to give away to the fans, to our
Yeah.
people, to the sharpers. So we need a name for. Did anybody come up in the chat with a good name for our viewers?
There was another one about beans earlier. I was gonna say, Toby, what's one of your least favorite sculpts to cast?
Ooh.
Let's see.
What was the one that took 2 people to get out of the mold? Was
That was the kids.
Oh yeah, that was brutal. Oh, I read kids from Grayson School and for an art class to like collaboratively come up with some things and sculpt some stuff, move it around, and then we cast it, and it was like, yeah, that was an impossible puzzle. That was like the video game level with no answer.
Now, one of those didn't were just straight up uncastable.
Yeah.
Toby and I both drew blood from that.
You know, I didn't see the final. We gave them the art teacher for them to paint in art class.
Oh, have they finished?
I don't know.
I hope so, right? It's
Yeah.
been a year.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We haven't seen anybody now because it's like we're in weirdo pandemic world.
But it would have been. It wouldn't have spanned 2 grades. Like they wouldn't have done the next year after.
No.
You know.
Wasn't that last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah.
It was like last.
Yeah, but there's still all the kids are still, or not most of the kids are still there. Like it's oh. The yeah, I'd be curious if she took a picture of the final, like everything all painted, because it was all over the place. It was a wide ranging adventure.
My least favorite non spin-off mold thing. I don't know what you call it, but it was a it was a top to the hidden alcove wall insert.
Hmm.
You know that has the
That
L shape.
little L.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a. I had to put a silicone block in there, and I pour it in and hope that the resin didn't seep out and stuff like that. Like only one or two ones I actually came out nicely.
I'll pull that thing. Get a sample of it. Does anybody have any other specific questions for Toby while they have, besides reveal all the secrets?
While people are submitting their questions, we have a few name suggestions for everyone. The Forge Lords.
Forge Lords.
Forge Dwarves. The Dwarvenauts. Bean Knights. Tile Heads. Dwarven Knights. The Dwarven Army.
I like Dwarven Knights.
I do too.
Dwarven Knights. That's funny. This piece,
Because our audience is indestructible.
and a lot of them have been knighted. Yeah, that's a tricky little.
Week 2 dog spying. I mean, sorry.
What?
Dwarvenite is not good. Momo eats Dwarvenite.
It's vulnerable to piercing damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been chewing on a lot of stuff he shouldn't recently.
All right. Does anybody have any parting words of wisdom for Toby? We should wrap up.
So far, I don't have any questions.
Cool.
So I guess, Toby, you should go explore Marshmallow.
And do you have any questions, Toby? Do you have any questions for the Dwarven Knights?
Off the top of my head,
So the your homework is, can you film the rest of that blocking?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so we can play it next week. We can say see it coming. We're gonna follow the life cycle of this thing, and then we'll convince Eli to film some sculpting on it, and they can see the whole process. See how painfully slow it is, because it's going on forever. That was like our first episode. It's like third episode. I don't know. Second.
I mean, it went for a lot of iterations.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's great to see like something that has that much change get documented like that.
I mean, it's the most change of any of the things we've done. I think it was definitely the widest. So it was kind of it's the chances. It was kind of a rare chance that it actually was like the thing was the one that was like just gonna be everywhere. And now I have good stuff for if we do waterfalls for the caves again or something, and we got good options for lots of stuff.
It's the birth of the word mutilarity as well.
Yeah, mutilarity.
One suggestion is to get a cheesy 80s toy spoof commercial from Orion Noir.
That'd be so fun to do as April Fools.
Did we?
It would be fun to do it as April.
Yeah, I think that we should do like one of those photos that you would find on like a board game where everybody is like having a good time and
Connect one.
Connect one.
Connect foot.
Dude, I love Connect One. I win every time.
only when you go first.
Yeah, I hate going second in that game. It's like Connect One. So I guess that's all the forgery that these Dwarven Knights can take today. So we have next week. We have sort of a deep dive into Wildlands pledge levels, and what do we have coming up? We have a D&D game on Monday night.
On Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Tyler's going to be DMing a game, and it's going to be with you and Selena and Chris and
Hamster. Yeah.
All right. Fun. Yeah. Deadly 4.
Yeah, it should be a challenge, and then we have another one coming up on the 15th, which we didn't figure out the lineup for. So that'll be. I'm planning. I just go figure. I have an ambitious idea.
What?
I know. It's a little out of character.
It really is. It's off brand.
Yeah, but I don't know how it's all gonna. I already have too many ideas for this one, so I got to figure out how to just hone it down so I can do one episode's worth of content in one episode.
So
But
just break it into 2 episodes. Do your entire idea already skim down, and then break it into 2 episodes.
yeah, it's gotta be one. Yeah. Well, we'll see. What, Toby?
Okay.
What?
What'd you say?
I can't wait to like run this game idea. I'm not gonna say it, but
Oh yeah, your
It's
idea. We have to get that on the books too.
yeah.
it's only right when we're in the office though.
Yeah.
It needs physical.
No, I'm excited for that one too.
It's pretty cool. Conceptually, I mean, obviously that's all we know is the concept. Top secret.
Yeah.
It's a good concept. Yeah. R&D. Well, Toby, thanks for getting on the anvil and letting us smash your fingers or whatever you do on an anvil.
Enough. I need to do that.
Yeah.
Fingers.
Where is my anvil? Is it at work? I have a little anvil.
I will look after this, but
It's in a bin somewhere. There's like one bin that's way overly heavy because it has a little anvil in it.
that anvil, not the foam one.
Yeah. Do you know? Yeah, no. They're like a metal. I have my dad had the coolest anvil, that wasn't movable, realistically, from that he sold with the House of Vermont. That was there like, it was an old forge, from like 1790 or something. The whole king caboodle, and like an anvil that had seen like a lot of this, but it was like, you can't move it with one person in the like January in the ice and thing. It was just not it's gone. But that's a cool, like, that would be a good thing to just have, like, right. I mean, of course, once you move it, like, it's there. It's like it's like a 300-pound hunk of steel. So maybe it's not really practical, but it would be really cool to have.
I'm pretty sure that's a use of anvil to not move when you're like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got like two jobs, to not move and to be hard. Yeah. But it's a cool one, ancient anvil. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up. We'll see you guys next week. We'll see you Monday night for D&D, and then next Wednesday for the next On the Anvil. We'll see Toby. We'll see some time lapse of the blocking, putting it.
You shall.
Yeah. Woo. Anything else? Shoot some cool stuff from the workshop. Whatever. I don't know. We like this content. And yeah, you guys keep the comments coming. Let us know what you're thinking and what you're liking, and ideas for how we make things better, and episodes you'd like to see, and I don't know, keep the good vibes coming. And what'll be a win next week? And Toby, we need to get the. Oh, are those castings done? Want to pull that out before? Or is it too soon?
Let's see.
Ooh, let's see. We're going. This is the post credit scene where there's a surprise.
Oh yeah, we have to get the credits rolling.
Yeah, and then like, Samuel L. Jackson shows up and he's like, "Hey, I'm here." I don't know who showed up.
I can't believe we were able to afford him, to get that part.
It's not ready yet.
All right.
Once they're done, just take a photo and send it our way, and then we'll be able to post it all over.
Yeah, give it to me and I'll never put it anywhere. It'll be perfect.
Hey, send it to me and I'll figure out what to do with it.
That's a much better plan. Yeah. All right. Well, good night, everybody. Thank you. Thanks, Toby.
Farewell, backers.
Bye.
Bye. Dwarven Knights.